All right, good morning, traders. Today is February 5th, 2025. My name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody out there in digital and cyberland, podcast land. Thank you so much. Thank you for finding the value in my content. Appreciate that. I like the kind comments. That helps to inspire me. Appreciate all of your patronage. Thank you. All right, my SPY pivot this morning, 601. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. SPY and FNGU yesterday made higher highs and higher lows, closing over their bearish traps and over their 17 EMAs. Good morning, Stefan. Diamond Dow made a higher low and a higher high, closing inside a bullish trap over the 17. IWM and QQQ made higher highs and higher lows, closing over their bearish traps but over their 17s. SPY closed with a 2-hour uptrend and a 10-minute uptrend. Gold made a new all-time high. Silver, in an uptrend, made a higher high and a higher low, closing over a bullish trap over the 17. USO and UNG are in daily uptrends. Both made lower lows, lower highs, closing under bearish traps under the 17 EMAs. US dollar index in a downtrend, closed near the 108.06 area. All right. Let's just go look at the account, see where we're at. All right, let's move this out of the way. All right, the account says, the value says 65,000, okay? That's not correct. All right, they give me extra credit whenever I have spreads on. Don't know why, but that's the way they do their accounting. Currently, the account left off yesterday was 55,000. All right, so we made 2,000 yesterday, so it's really right about 56, 57,000 right there. I'll know later on when I take the spreads off, but right now I've got some spreads on. All right, I'm in USO. All right, I like USO, and USO is in the buy box this morning. All right, 76, 75 area. I'll be picking up some more USO. I have SPY short. I saw bearish divergence, so I shorted some of just a regular SPY right there. Rig, I like rig. Rig's in an uptrend, and I bought some rig calls. I like it. I think it's about to turn a corner. UNG calls, I still have 2 left over, looking for that to make a little bit more headway on the upside. If it pulls back into the buy box, I hope to reload. I didn't get any yesterday. I have some SPY calls. They are 16 DTEs, all right? And I have them hedged with a out-of-the-money covered call. In other words, I'm willing to sit in them, but I have them hedged so that if they run up to 610, I'll get paid, and I don't mind giving up the some of the premium. Not the premium, but I don't mind giving up some of the profits just to have the safety of a covered call. So I have 15 long contracts 608, 14 short 610. All right, got a couple of SPY puts. All right, right here, and that was for the bearish divergence from last night. Again, some more puts from the bearish divergence from last night. All right, so let's go take a look at some charts. And let's take a look at SPY. And let's find a clean chart. And if we look real close here, let me move this over and widen it up a little bit. Okay, so we had ourselves kind of consolidation, a move up, consolidate over to the right. All right, consolidation up into here. We filled the gap. It's normal after filling the gap to have a pullback. The pullback made a higher low, so they went back up and tested it up here. Got kind of a triple top on the smaller time frame. You got a top here, here, and here. So there's a triple top. So having a pullback, we'll see how deep they want to go with this pullback this morning, okay? You got triple top 1, 2, 3 on the 10-minute chart. Okay, so you find ourselves underneath VWAP this morning. As you can see, we left off, VWAP was right about 600.60 right there. And you can see price in the pre-market is down here. Got all the way down to 598 area. So we had mostly just consolidation. It left off, we'll just call it a 10-minute uptrend because it was moving up, making higher lows and higher highs. So far, if we look at things, all right, we have a lower high and a lower low. Possibly a lower high. Will we get another lower low? That's the question. Okay, currently moving up. It has recovered. Okay, from the top down to the bottom, it has recovered over 51%. All right, so we'll see where they open up this morning. That's where they left off yesterday at the close. Right now in the pre-market, they're down here. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if we can recover some of that this morning, possibly even creating another higher low right here and then move back up. We'll see what happens with that. So I'm going to call it a 10-minute uptrend on the 2-hour chart. On the 2-hour chart, we have a 2-hour uptrend until that Google came in and wiped it out. But that was a 2-hour uptrend, 10-minute uptrend until the Google candle came in and wiped that out at the last minute on the 10-minute chart. On the daily chart, this is our candle right here. Higher low, higher high, closing inside. Bearish trap, but over the 17 EMA right there. So SPY closing inside a bearish trap over the 17 EMA. Where does it pan out on the bigger look? Price action, you can see, is up here in quadrant 4. There's only 4 quadrants. All right, quadrant 4. So it is bullish up there. Okay, price action is underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. Price action is currently over the rising 17. All right, so that's bullish. We're making higher lows and higher highs, so they're still in an uptrend. All right, so we got a higher high here. So we're still in an uptrend. No, let me take that back. SPY's in a downtrend. All right, because we made a lower low right here. Here's the spike below the 17, and we made a lower low. So SPY's in a downtrend, but it's just a label, and we're up here in quadrant 4. Let's take a look at QQQ. Now let's go visit the game plan. All right, here's the game plan for this morning for SPY. All right, so I like options that are 2 DTEs or that expire on Friday. So that'll be 2 DTEs or 9 DTEs. Friday options have more open interest, and that's why I choose those. SPY over 602.15 is my bullish entry. Now it could happen that things get going. We get up over the pivot, and I could take a bullish entry or a scalp earlier than that, but that's my bullish. Green erases red entry over 602.15. On the bearish side, all right, if we have a 10-minute downtrend underneath the pivot, 601, all right, a bearish entry we have underneath 599.40. So in other words, if the red candles wipe out all of the green that was created yesterday and we get underneath 599.40, I'm interested in taking a short trade, probably down to this candle low right there, 597.638. All right, that'll be the first target. Second target's going to be 595.93, and then we'll see where we go from there. So there's the SPY game plan. Over 602.15, bullish entry. Underneath 599.40, bearish entry. All right, let's take a look at QQQ. QQQ has a similar game plan. The pivot is 523.50 over 524.85. That would be green erases red over 524.85. That would be a bullish entry for the green erases red. For the red erases green, underneath 521.70 would be a bearish entry underneath 521.70. Okay, so that's under the pivot right there. So there's the QQQ game plan. I don't know why it's not working out here. All right, let's look at QQQ on the daily chart. And let's pull it up over here. QQQ got a higher low, higher high, closing over the trap, over the 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP, up in quadrant 4. That's bullish. All right, IWM. Higher low, higher high, closing over the trap, over the 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. Up here in quadrant 3, that's neutral. They go up, they give it up, they go up, they give it up. Okay, so IWM, just neutral right there. Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow, yesterday's candle is higher high, higher low, closing inside a bullish trap over the 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP, up here in quadrant 4. That's bullish. IWM, higher low, higher high, closing over the trap, over the 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's just neutral. I did QQQ, I did Diamond Down, now we got to do FNGU. That's the one I'm missing. Higher low, higher high, closing inside the bearish trap, over the 17 EMA, over the uptrend line, over the uptrend line, over the downtrend line, over the uptrend line, and over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Up here in quadrant 4, FNGU is bullish up there. That's a bull flag. Sloppy bull flag, but it's a bull flag. All right, let's take a look at our technicals. T2123. All right, we flew out of the sell zone, over the seller's chop zone, into the buyer's chop zone, and knocked on the door of the buy zone up here. So T2123, nice bullish day for T2122. T2123 on the 15-minute chart, you can see right here, almost green from beginning to the end of the day. Couple of red candle bars right there, gapping down. Then they filled the gap, and then they just bullied all day long, melting up. All right, got a little VWAP pullback right there, and then they just kept melting up all day. T2123 up over the rising 200 SMA, that's bullish. T2123 3 bar. All right, 3 more green candle bars up over the 2 prior all-time highs right here. Underneath a dipping 200 SMA, kind of closing in on that the distance between the price action and the 200 SMA. So there's the 3-bar chart on T2123. Looking good. Nice little V bottom going on. I hope that's not a bear flag. All right, I would like to see them kind of consolidate now, producing a bull flag right up here. That's what would be nice for me to see that happen, a bull flag consolidation, and then a breakout to get through this 200 SMA. FNGU yesterday bullied almost all day. You can see price action held up over the all-time high anchored VWAP, starting right there. That's the pink line. Okay, so price action on the 4th held up over the all-time high anchored VWAP, knocked on the door of the flat 200 SMA. Okay, pulled back to VWAP, and then we transitioned right over it at the end, and then Google came in and knocked them out. So we'll see what happens with FNGU. If you look at it, it's just a whole lot of consolidation, but kind of in the bearish wedge here. All right, got like a bearish wedge going on. So we'll see what happens. Things are looking good. We're up over the uptrend line, and we're up over the downtrend line that was right through here. Okay, so we'll see what happens. But nothing says that line doesn't belong out there. All right, there's FNGU. And we kind of keep an eye on this because this has all of the big caps in it. And those big caps tend to whiplash the market around. Doesn't matter what the others are doing. They carry so much weight that they will actually lead the indices into uptrends and out of uptrends. That's FNGU. Let's take a look at a few sectors. We'll start off with XLE, and we'll head back over to here. XLE. So here's our energy sector. Energy's in a downtrend. All right. Even though it's moving up here, it's a pullback. That's a pullback in a downtrend. They didn't put in any peaks over the 17, so that's their pullback. All right, and now they're moving down again, but we got this, got ourselves a little bullish engulfing going on here, so this is looking interesting. All right, kind of see a bottom maybe being put in right here, so this is XLE. All right, it's in a downtrend. It's only in quadrant 3. All right, and it's made a higher low, but it also made a lower high. We're underneath this downtrend, and we're underneath this downtrend. Okay, but we have made a higher low. We'll see if we can hold on to this area up here in quadrant 3. Price action's up over the midpoint. All right, so it's on the bullish side of neutrality, but this is a 12-month high anchored VWAP. We're still underneath that 12-month high. Okay, notice every time we go up, see, we go up, we give it up, we go up, we give it up, we go up, we give it up, we go up again, give it up. Okay, what we want to see is price action move up, and we want to see it hold. All right, I want to see it hold up there or just continue going up. Really, I'd rather see him put in a foundation. All right, but every time it goes up, price pulls back. All right, and it's been kind of the pattern lately. I think this is about to come to an end. I think eventually we're going to get price up here, and it's going to hold, hopefully in quadrant 3, maybe in a bull flag. We'll see what happens. This is looking good, this higher low right there, but that was horrendous. So we fell out of quadrant 4 all the way down to quadrant 1. All right, so there's the XLE. All right, still in a downtrend because we haven't made a higher high. But we did make a lower high right here. So it's possible price action could come up and take out that lower high, negate the downtrend, and convert the uptrend. So there's XLE on the daily chart. Let's take a look at UNG. All right, UNG pulling back to the buy box. I didn't get any fills yesterday. I'll be looking for more fills again today for UNG calls. You guys saw my position. I have 2 calls. I sold 4 of the 6 off up there. I'm looking to reload, and I'm only willing to look to reload because I'm up over this 12-month high anchored VWAP, and this is my buy box right across the top of this peak, right through here. All right, as long as they can hold over this all-time high anchored VWAP, that's the pink line. I'm very interested. They put in a higher low. I'm looking for price action to put in a higher high. I don't know if that's going to happen, but if they get back up to $20, that will be a nice return on that investment. So there's UNG in the buy box currently. I'm expecting maybe another test of this pink 12-year high anchored VWAP. So I really like to pick some up down there. I don't know if I'll get it, and I can't plan on it happening. So I just have to kind of follow price action the way it goes. But right now, UNG is in the upper part of the buy box. I really prefer it down here in the lower part. We'll see what happens. So I can pick some up here and leave room to pick some more up here. We'll see what happens. There's UNG on the daily chart. Price action, lower high, lower low, closing under the bearish trap under the 17 EMA, but over the 12-month high anchored VWAP and on the bullish side of neutrality. Just squeak that out right there. Let's take a look at USO. USO is back in the buy box. I didn't get any of the other yesterday. I missed my opportunity. Looking to pick some up today. Anywhere over the midpoint here. We are up on USO over a 3-year high anchored VWAP right there. That's not an all-time high, it's just a 3-year high. You can see we got some higher highs up there. Okay, price action pulling back to the buy box. You can see there's a nice consolidation. Then there's a nice breakout. Here's the pullback. Usually these breakouts reveal a higher low and then a rip to make a higher high. So that's what I'm looking for in USO on the daily chart. So here's a rip up. We got a snap back, and I'm looking for price action to come up here, probably up to 88 or even 89 and 90 right there. There's USO on the daily chart. Price action, lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap, under the 17, over the midpoint, and over the 3-year high anchored VWAP. Okay, so not quite in the upper third. It's close, not quite in the upper third. So it's just kind of neutral here. Again, we keep moving up and giving it up. Okay, kind of the same message I was telling you about XLE. All right, they keep moving up and giving it up. All right, so we need them to get up and hold. All right, we are holding over all of this consolidation so far. Things are looking good. All right, I'd like to see more of that, but up here in quadrant 4, up here in the upper third. So there's USO. Let's take a look at precious metals. Gold, we got a new all-time high made yesterday. Another new all-time high made again today. So there's gold on the daily chart. Higher low, higher high, over the trap, over the 17, over the prior all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay, gold is bullish. All right, let's take a look at silver. Silver, higher low, higher high, closing over the trap, over the 17, over the 12-year high anchored VWAP. Silver is bullish. All right. Really, it's just in the neutral stage right through here, but you can see up there we got into the upper third. That's bullish up there. All right. So silver looking real good. Like to see a higher low, and then that'd be a nice opportunity for a buy-in. This was a buy-in right here. I missed that opportunity. Looking for the next higher low for a buy-in to silver on the daily chart. I think silver could get back up to 45. We'll see what happens. There's silver on the daily chart that is bullish. All right. Currently on the bullish side of neutrality right now. And over, see, this is our 4th day. This will be our 5th day over that 12-year high anchored VWAP. Okay, that's huge. That's a trigger for me to start looking for an entry. Whenever I see price over the all-time high anchored VWAP for more than 3 days, notice 3 days they were up here, they lost it. They're holding up over here for more than 3 days. All right, now I'm going to start looking for an opportunity, a higher low to buy into where the bulls step in. So there's silver on the daily. Let's take a look at SMH. So semiconductors, they're in a downtrend. Currently, it's just a label. They got themselves in a downtrend. They broke this low. So they got themselves in a downtrend. They created a lower high. All they have to do is bust over that high, and they'll have themselves an uptrend on the SMH on the daily chart. Yesterday's price action, not impressive at all. Higher low, higher high, closing inside a bearish trap under the 17, down here in quadrant 3, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's not impressive. Okay, anytime they're under the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's not impressive. All right, you want them to be over the 12-year high or over the all-time high anchored VWAP. All right, and they hold up there for 4 to 5 days. Then you've got something. Now you start looking for the next higher low, and then as a possible entry. SMH just kind of neutral right here on the bullish side of neutrality, but not really acting very bullish at this time. Okay, let's take a look at XLK. XLK, got to remember, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, on a Friday, they put in a new all-time high. That big red candle up there. XLK now in a downtrend after making a lower low right through here. See, they got a low, they made a lower low, so they're in a downtrend. Price action for XLK, notice it's underneath a prior all-time high, definitely underneath the all-time high. Price action for yesterday is a higher low and a higher high, closing inside a bearish trap. All right, but under the 17 and under the prior all-time high anchored VWAP. Up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish up there, but can't seem to hold anything over this prior all-time high anchored VWAP. Notice 1, 2, 3 days and they're gone. 2 days and they're gone. 3 days and they fade. 3 days and they fade. It's just a continued pattern. We need to see them up here and hold. From the bigger perspective, we have a nice sloppy bull flag up there in quadrant 4. Okay, but we're not making any higher highs in a long time. Now we banged on the ceiling. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 times. One of the times we were able to ink out a higher high, but it's been a while since we've been back up there. All right, over a week and a half. So there's XLK. That's bullish. All right, but not impressive. Let's take a look at XLI. All right, XLI on the daily chart, we are still in a downtrend. Crazy, but we're still in a downtrend. Notice they didn't put any peaks up through the 17 for price action to break. So this is just a pullback right here. This is a pullback in a downtrend. They got themselves in a downtrend by breaking this low and this low. Okay, so now they have to make a higher high. This would be the high to beat. They have not done it yet, all right? So this is a pullback in a downtrend. XLI currently, or yesterday's price action, an inside day, it's a higher low and a lower high, closing under the bearish trap, under the 17, but over the all-time high anchored VWAP. A lot of price action up here over the all-time high anchored VWAP, definitely more than 4 to 5 days. But the problem is on the smaller time frames, it's not moving up. All right, it's still pulling back. So we'll see what happens here. Need them to set in the higher low and then take out the high. Okay, see the lower high? There's the high. That's a lower high. Need them to set the higher low and take out the lower high. Price action. Currently in the upper third, that is on the bullish side. They can make things happen. Nothing impressive yet. They are still up over the all-time high anchored VWAP right there. Okay, so XLI, a little bit better off than XLU. Let's take a look at XLU. XLU still is in an uptrend, but definitely not in the upper third, and definitely not up here in quadrant 4. XLU is a inside day. That's a lower high and a higher low, closing under a bearish trap, and I'm just going to call it underneath the 17 EMA, but over the all-time high anchored VWAP. All right, so just consolidating. It's in an uptrend. They got an uptrend status. See the 17? That's the red dots. Well, right here, they made a high. Then they turned around and then made a higher high. That got them uptrend status. Remember, it's just a label. From there, they made a higher low. Now the pressure's on the bulls to make the higher high. Can they keep a trend going? All right, so there's XLU. Not in the upper third, so just kind of neutral here. Not in quadrant 4, so definitely not bullish. All right, but on the bullish side of neutrality. Again, you can see price action move up and put in a big sloppy bull flag right here. So. But they are on the bullish side of neutrality, so that's they have an edge, but nothing impressive yet. XLU. XRT, retail sector. That's a nice candle. All right, yesterday's candle is this one right here. All right, that's a higher low, higher high, closing under a bearish trap, under the 17, not in the upper third. Just neutral here on XRT. Price action moves up. All right, then they give it up. They move up, and then they give it up. All right, it just seems to be the pattern. They're up over the all-time high anchored VWAP, which was put in back at the end of 2021. All right, so it's been a while. But if you look at price action from the perspective of 2024, that is a nice bull flag with a breakout. Or if you look at the 12-month high anchored situation right here, we have a move up and a bull flag over to the right. We do have consolidation over prior consolidation. All right, so there's XRT. That is bullish. Nothing impressive till they get back up here in the upper third or quadrant 4. They are neutral at this time. They're over the uptrend line. Okay, they're just not moving up at this time. They are in an uptrend as far as labels go because they never made a lower low. All right, but they're just not impressive at this time. So things got going today. I don't know who reported, but somebody got something going because that's a nice green candle. Let's take a look at IYT. All right, here's our transports price action. Let me find the right candle. That's the 5th. This is a nice candle if that's what yesterday is. Higher low, higher high, closing inside a bearish trap under the 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. Not in quadrant 4, not in the upper third, but over the uptrend line. Okay, just neutral here. Notice they go up, they give it up, they go up, they give it up. Okay, got to see them get up there and hold. This was looking promising. All right, but then they did this. So there's IYT on the daily chart, just kind of neutral through here. All right, so let's take a look at our economic package. All right, and let's go ahead and hit max pain, get that going. That's the 4th. Have to refresh that. All right, max pain for today is 600. That's very achievable, and the put to call ratio is 1 1/3 puts for each call. Okay, that expires today, so 1 1/3 puts for each call. Not much there to do a put squeeze, but we are kind of moving up after hitting that lower low right there, so in SPY. So we'll see what happens. All right, not really put squeeze material right there, but max pain is 600, so probably just going to be an inside day. We'll see. I was planning on an inside day yesterday, and then they happened to just kind of shift up a little bit and put in a candle that made a higher low and a higher high. So we'll see. I'm planning on an inside day today. We'll see what happens because that was supposed to be yesterday's candle, an inside day. On the dollar's in a downtrend because they made, here's a low, they made a lower low. All right, price action ripped all the way back up, put in a lower high. Price action closed yesterday at 108.06. All right, the day before it closed at 108.59. All right, so you can see price action moving down. All right, that'll definitely inspire gold to pop and silver. If we get a lower low right through here, all right, you have a confirmed downtrend, and that would be for the U.S. dollar. See that come down like that. That would be nice. Again, when you got a strong dollar, you know, it just makes our goods and services more expensive for foreign countries because they have to convert their currency to ours to pay us, and you just kind of want you want a cheap currency if you're a market player. That way that, you know, if you're a business, you kind of don't want a cheap currency because you want to get paid more. That's the bottom line. But again, it always affects sales. All right, you've got all kinds of competition out there, and you know, it's hard to compete with that competition if you have a strong dollar. So having a weak dollar helps our GDP. You can see our GDP dipped last report down to 2.4. We were printing pretty good numbers like 2.8, 3.0, 3.5, 4.0. All right, and then we had a strong dollar, and then you can see what happens. GDP kind of dips when you got a strong dollar. All right, so that's how much money the U.S. takes in by selling goods and services to foreign countries. So there is the U.S. dollar, how that affects our markets. I just explained it right there. On the economic calendar, not much going on. We got ADP employment report, 8:15. International trade in goods and services, 8:30. Treasury refunding announcement. Got a PMI composite final at 9:45. ISM Services Index at 10. Petroleum report at 10:30, and some Fed speakers. None of them are Mr. Powell. Thursday, we got jobless claims 8:30, productivity and cost 8:30, gas report at 10:30, and another Fed speaker. Friday, we got the employment situation at 8:30, a Fed speaker, consumer sentiment at 10, wholesale inventories at 10, Fed speaker, and a rig count at 1 right there. Consumer credit comes out at 3. So that's it. Really light week, all right? Earnings will probably dominate the week. Again, last night, $5 trillion reported of market cap all at once last night. And I don't know what happened, but the market didn't seem to like it. It was not bad, I got to say. It wasn't growing as far as the last quarter, but it was not bad. Still very impressive for a $5 trillion market cap company. But it's easy to get $5 trillion of market cap when every index and every hedge fund wants to put you in their portfolio. Just saying. All right. Let's go look at the earnings report, and then we'll wrap this up. All right. For the earnings report for today, we got Novo Nordisk Pharmaceuticals reporting this morning, $368 billion. BABA has not decided what time or if they're going to report today. Well, Disney reporting this morning, $206 billion. Qualcomm Communications, $189. That's tech. That'll report tonight. ARM Holdings, $161 billion. They're going to report tonight. Boston Scientific, $151 billion. That's this morning. Uber, $141 billion. They report this morning. Total Energy is deciding whether they want to report today. Fiserv, $121 billion. They report this morning. McKesson Corporation, $76 billion. All right. So this morning, Novo Nordisk, Walt Disney, Boston Scientific, and Uber, and Fiserv. All right. Tonight it's going to be Qualcomm and ARM Holdings. Maybe even BABA. Tomorrow night, after the close, Amazon reports. That's $2.5 trillion. Okay, that'll move the markets. Eli Lilly, $784 billion. They're going to report tomorrow morning. $206 billion. Linde Corporation, AstraZeneca, $213 billion. Philip Morris, $202 billion. Honeywell, $145 billion. Bristol Myers, $119 billion. ConocoPhillips, $115 billion. And ICE, Intercontinental Exchange, $91 billion. Friday, we'll visit Friday when we get closer to it. All right, that's it, traders. I will be back in 40 minutes.